welcome to another edition of the show. We talk EKU volleyball with head coach Johnna Fouch to begin a pair of straight set sweeps on Saturday at the UNC Asheville Invitational over North Carolina A&T and Dartmouth of the Ivy League, and some really good positive vibes for your team early on this season.
It was a great environment and a great place to be at on Saturday, especially just with having two sweeps. We had a tough loss against Asheville on that Friday night. You know, that was their home opener. And it was a pretty good environment to play in. We made a ton of errors. And so coming out that next day, it was just a great and a proud moment for myself to see the team come out with two sweeps. We hadn't had one in 2 years. So it was a great experience for them. And it was just a fun, exciting locker room after that day.
And so Dartmouth actually goes and beats UNC Asheville, who beat EKU. So three teams go 2-1 in the Invitational. But the thing against Dartmouth, it's one thing to win a match, but to win in tight sets 3 times in a row, that could pay dividends down the road, couldn't it?
Oh yeah, it's tough because it's all about which team can focus. For those last 2 points with Dartmouth, we were tied game point for a lot of we each split game points at certain times, and so having to focus in for those 2 points to get the win was super huge for us.
You had a couple of players make all-tournament team. Good job with kills and blocks. Some good stats that I saw in the sheet out of your 3 games this past weekend.
I think our defense played a tremendous role this weekend, especially in those 2 sweeps on Saturday. Kaylin Johnson was voted tournament MVP, and she just came out huge with blocks all weekend. And same with the offensive piece. She was hitting over 400, and I think that's all you can really ask for out of a senior middle blocker. And same with Giovanna. She had a record high with digs and just even kills. And so our defense really stepped it up this weekend, and it's kind of nice to start seeing our team kind of expand in different areas of the offense and defense piece.
Through 6 games, 22 blocks by Johnson to lead the team. We had Abby Knoll on the show last week, a freshman from Northern Kentucky. She leads your team in kills with 79. She's played well for a freshman.
Yeah, Abby's a great player for us. She's very consistent, and that's all what we can ask for her as a freshman. And I think to keep her healthy and to keep her just, not overdo her every single game, but she's been a huge help for us, and she's gonna be a great player for us all year long.
Our show will come out taping before the Western Kentucky game on Tuesday, so we can't really talk about that. But then after that, back on the road for another invitational. You go to the Zips Invitational up in Akron, 3 games there. What are you looking for from your team? Because after that, you finally get a home game.
I'm kind of looking to carry on into what we just kind of finished off this weekend. I think we play some good teams that are very similar to what we saw in Asheville. And so I'm hoping with this week's of practice and us competing tomorrow, we can get some wins. So I'm just looking for us to kind of carry on our play.
As we said when we talked with you on the inaugural show of the season, your first year as head coach here, you knew the lay of the land because you were an assistant coach. But how's it going? You feel a little more comfortable in the role now?
Yeah, once you get a couple wins in you feel a bit more comfortable. But, the first couple games, you're just trying to figure out who to put in, who's going to be our consistent starting team. And right now I'm using all of our players. And I think it's nice to be able to look at someone on the bench and just be like, hey, you got to go sub in for someone who's struggling, which is okay. And so for me, it's just super great. And it's starting to get comfortable with the fact that I know how our team is engaging and how they're playing together, and just seeing it progress, especially with those wins. It's awesome.
Now you're calling the shots on the bench. So is that different? Is your role during a game, does it feel a lot different than what you're used to?
It does and it doesn't. I'm still, they're coached, and I'm still being super positive. But yes, I am putting in who's starting and who I'm subbing, when to call timeouts. So that part you kind of think strategically a little bit. But it is a little bit different, but I'm enjoying it. I'm feeling a little bit more confident with it too. So.
Okay, congratulations. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Johnna Fouch, head coach of the volleyball team. Here's what's ahead for the Colonels on the road in Akron, Ohio. They will play Seton Hall out of the Big East, 4 o'clock on Friday, and then Akron, the host, in St. Francis College of Pennsylvania as well on Saturday. Don't forget the first home game. Hope to see you out of the Alumni Coliseum. Will be at 6 p.m. Tuesday, September 17th against the Thundering Herd of Marshall. We'll also have the call of that one on ESPN+. Hope you get out to support the volleyball team as they open the season after 10 in a row away from home. And coming up next here on the show, we'll check in with the EKU football team. We'll meet offensive guard Tucker Schroeder.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a crime fighter. Be a visionary. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
Welcome back to the show. We talk EKU football now, and joining us is EKU guard Tucker Schroeder, a sophomore. Tucker, you guys played Louisville, moved the ball at times on the ground, but they are such a fast, aggressive team. What lesson did you guys learn from playing against that Power 5 school on Saturday?
I think we learned a lot of good lessons, especially in preparation and stuff like that, to learn that teams can definitely scheme us too a little bit. But they were overall just a really great team, a lot of talent, and their program is going in a really good direction.
How did it make your offensive line for the next game and the next game after that better, do you think?
Well, I think in a lot of ways it showed us that we can definitely, hang, and we're definitely, good enough to do things like that as well. We did a lot of really good things. Coach Hope told us a lot, and a lot of fundamentals we did well. And a lot of times where we shoot ourselves in the foot is in schematics where we do something wrong. It's not a lot of times where they scheme us up, it's if we do something wrong. So we just have to improve in that part because we know physically we can, move anybody on the line. So, yeah.
You mentioned your position coach, Danny Hope, former head coach here and at Purdue, played offensive line at EKU back when offensive linemen were a lot smaller in the late 70s. And then he's been under Howard Schnellenberger and Joe Tiller at Oklahoma and Wyoming and Purdue and U of L. And so what are you learning from him and how the guys taken to him, because you have him as your position coach and a new offensive coordinator this year?
So it's been a learning experience for the both of us. He tells us that all the time. He's like, you guys are learning, but I'm learning too. But where Coach Hope has really helped us as an offensive line is technique, fundamentals, because you can't learn schematics unless you do it right with fundamentals. So just base blocking, pass blocking, punching, stuff like that. He's been a huge help to our offensive line just in that regard. So that's been just great to have him. And he's also just a great character. I mean, he really cares for us. And we definitely resonate with that well in our group.
Now here's the one thing that you have to remember, Colonel fans. Yes, they're pretty deep this year. 9 guys play, but 3 of the 5, and you're not one of them, you and Bardal are the only guys with starting experience. So this is a young line, and Danny told me before the game that you're going to get better and better as the season goes along. This is a work in progress.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, me and Jackson came back, but Chris played a lot last year. Graham played a lot last year. Eric, he transferred from ODU, has a lot of experience. Grant played at USF, and then Howard came from JUCO. So we have a lot of guys playing. Drew Hart is stepping up. He's getting better every day. So we have a lot of guys who want to play, who want to win. And so it's really deep and really talented, and I'm super excited for it to see how the year goes.
Off the field, you've been one of many colonels that has been tremendous in community service. And this summer, the football team did something really neat with the patients from the Shriners Medical Center in the Lexington area. Brought them over and you had a camp for them. Tell me about that.
So earlier in the summer, we went over to Shriners Hospital, got to visit their facility, got to see some of the patients, and it's just a crazy, humbling experience to go there and kind of see some of the problems they're facing and play with them, help them out, do whatever we can. So we got them to come over, had a football camp for them, got to show them the facilities, all types of stuff like that, and they were loving it. We got to go through all types of drills, got to show them some O-line stuff, which I think they liked a lot, which is kind of crazy. Not everybody likes O-line stuff, but the quarterbacks got to throw with them, which obviously they love that too. So overall, just a great experience for them.
Makes 3rd and 14 look like a piece of cake, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, for sure.
So up next is Indiana State. Quick thumbnail. That's a big opportunity out of the best conference in the nation in the Missouri Valley.
Yeah. So we're definitely excited for that. Huge playoff implications. I'm sure Coach Elder will tell you. And looking forward into the season, they value those non-conference FCS games a lot, so we're looking to have a good showing against them and come out with a W.
Okay, great to meet you. You're what a student athlete should be. You're an epitome of it, and thanks for being a great girl.
Really appreciate that.
All right, Tucker Schroeder with us, offensive guard for the EKU football team. So we've talked volleyball and football. How about the other kind of football? We'll talk EKU soccer with another player when we come back on Inside EKU Sports.
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
Welcome back to the show. We talk soccer now. Senior defender Rachele Manfre is with us. Every game but one has been a one-goal game, so there have been tight games, 3 of those into overtime. You're on the back line, so defensively, I know coaches talked about decision-making back there. So how's the work and process going?
It's going pretty well. We're just kind of trusting the process as of right now. It's a fairly new formation for us, so it's just kind of making sure we continue to stay connected, communicate properly, and just having a further understanding of what we expect of each other. When to release, when to step, when to hold, when to tuck in. So it's just kind of knowing how to talk to each other and what to understand.
Yeah, because soccer's a little bit more complicated than, if you're a person like me that's a novice to it. It's a complicated game in strategy. Yes. You play a pressing style. Try to score out of the back off your pressing defense. So that has to tax you as an athlete. And I noticed anywhere from 19 to 21 players playing a game. Unlike, pro soccer, you can liberally substitute. So how's that been to rotate people in and to stay fresh on the pitch?
I think it's honestly beneficial because, especially for the wing backs and the forwards, I think our style of play is really about just getting forward and playing the ball to our forwards who are constantly making runs. And like you said, we are trying to focus on attacking more and getting up there. So it is a lot of running. And so it's just, you want players in there that they have fresh legs and they aren't as fatigued. So
you've had to mix in some new players with the returning veterans and a new coach. So as you go through the non-conference season, I know all the focus is let's get ready. It's not an exhibition season, but you have to kind of treat it like that because everything's on the line for the OVC, really, isn't it?
Right. Yep.
And so still things are coming ahead before the OVC starts on the road at Jacksonville, Alabama in late September. And the next game on Thursday on your home pitch is against a Kentucky team that you upset as a team last year. Big moment back in early September on an early goal by Kylie Thompson, 1-0. So I got a feeling the Wildcats will be ready for this one.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be an intense game. I'm excited. I'm nervous. A lot of mixed emotions, especially because we're going to be hosting the game the first time in history. So it's going to be a good one. I'm excited to see how we're going to do. I feel like we're almost there. It's just staying dialed in every single second, just not slacking on moments.
You're a Parks and Recreation major. What do you want to do with that once you graduate?
Right now I'm focusing on being a wedding planner. And if that doesn't work out, then something in event planning. I'm not sure what field yet, but as of right now, I'm really focused on being a wedding planner.
It's hard to believe your college career is almost over.
Yes, it's bittersweet and kind of scary at the same time, but
good luck, Rachel, to you and the rest of the Colonels against Kentucky this week.
Thank you so much.
Rachele Manfre is with us. Again, here's what's coming up. EKU at home at the EKU soccer field along the bypass. 4 o'clock start for UK and Eastern Kentucky. Hope you make it out to support the Colonels. We'll also have the game live on ESPN+. By the way, the OVC opener is on the road in late September at Jacksonville State, so the OVC is coming soon. And that does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. You can follow all of our social media channels you see there on the screen and keep up with EKU athletics. Until next week, as always, go Big E.